There we go. What's happening, guys? These pins are getting kind of tired. I'm trying to go through my pins right now and figure out which ones are worthy and which ones are not. We're doing the little hour and a half for stream right now. A little more primal streaming. Yeah. All right, so got to weed out the week. Weed out the week. Pretty soon I'm gonna be using my nib. I'm gonna be getting dirtier. Yeah, how's it going there, Vic C? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we're inking this up finally. It's been taking a minute to do it. All right, what we got up here? Let's see if I want to. I'll use this one for sure. Just that one, and then I gotta start sorting my pins, like which ones are darker and which ones are working good and which ones are not. But if you guys haven't watched Primal, man, season 3, you guys gotta go check out Primal. It's live right now on Cartoon Network. Even the YouTube channel is playing, like, they're playing a bunch of episodes. No, this is Spear. That's not Blanca. No, that's Spear, and that's Zombie Spear. Yes, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Unhinged Bascom. You guys go subscribe to Bascom, Unhinged Entertainment, Unhinged right there. He's an excellent artist. One of the best out there right now. Episode 2 is great. Yeah. Some people were saying they didn't like the new season. I'm like, dude, it's so freaking death metal. It's so death metal. I love it. Yeah. See, I could start rubber banding these ones up. These ones are getting these ones are turning into toners now. Toners. Tones. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on the other night too. I went on his stream the other night. I got to ink with the boys. I was making sketch cards for my book HELWÄR. It's coming out in Friday the 13th of March. Everybody that backs the book in the first 24 hours is going to get one of these. So I've been working on these. I'll be doing some sketch card streams on here pretty soon. It's going to be my Viking epic, 106 pages. It's going to be the size of a metal album. Yeah. So you can go on the shelf next to all your favorite metal bands like Lemmy and Motorhead. You know, it's gonna be a almost 12 by 12 like that. It's gonna be black and white though. It's gonna be real dirty, real gritty and toothy. You know, so real a lot of inks and great washes. Not so many washes, but a lot of tones, if you will. So be on the lookout for that. We're gonna need to get that baby funded. So you're gonna probably see me all over the internet promoting it. You're gonna get real tired of me. Let's see here. You freehand everything? Yes, I do. I do freehand everything. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mike Peters. I appreciate you. And for the 19 of you guys watching, you're awesome. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it. For those of you that don't know, BATT MURK or Matt Burke. You know, I do comic book reviews. I do live draw streams now. I make comics, and I got, you know, my grayish greenish perspective on things. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are having an awesome Friday. It is Friday right now. I'm like learning how to nap now. I took like a 20-minute nap earlier in the day, and then I took a probably like another hour nap right now, and I woke up, and then I'm gonna go to bed in another hour and a half. So that's how you juggle it. Thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by, Larry Pretzel and Vic C. Thank you, man. Thank you. And right now, I'm just kind of going through my pins. This pin you can get at the Dollar Tree for those of you guys that are over here on this side of the pond in Americas. I got this one for $1.25, and I think it works pretty good. Yeah, naps are great. I know a lot of farmers do it. I know my grandpa, he worked on a cotton field in I was gonna say Arizona, Arkansas, and they work, you know, like 20-hour days over there. And he was saying that in the middle of the day you have to do like a 15-minute nap, just to kind of, you know, sometimes that's all you need, really. You could be going nonstop for so many hours you would never even believe, and all you need is like 15 minutes sometimes just to soup you back up, you know? Yeah, midday naps. Yeah, and then, you know, they have like siestas over in Spain and whatnot. I could see why they do that, you know. This thing's kind of cool. It's similar to like the Tombow soft tip. Not obviously not in this caliber, right? Not as good, but you know, it's cool. I have this some new black ink pens I got from Japan from the art supply warehouse for my birthday. It's already been 5 months, and I got to totally start using them. I was gonna do that right now, but I was like, I'm a little groggy right now, so I don't want to kind of go at it like that on my first time using it live. You know, even at that point, like not live. So, yep. And then eventually, I'm probably just gonna switch over to the nib. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. I think now I can start doing that, and then after a few months, I'll probably hopefully get my skill up. But I'm gonna start switching over to this nib, not this nib, but nibbing, just because I'm at home, and then I'm gonna start doing the brushes too. That's what I'm really. Yeah. That's cool as hell. Is that from Primal? Yes, it is from Primal, actually, man. Thank you. It's from, yeah. You got Spear versus Zombie Spear, and they're kind of fighting in this like dreamlike state. Let's see right here. And then I got this little dinosaur skull right here. I'm not saying it's tooth, but it's definitely a type of dinosaur skull. Yeah, make some big moves right there. There we go. I could go in there and add some blacks. Let's see what we got here. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Also got these two right here. Let me try these out. Yeah, it's a little too somewhat of a toner. Tone. Hey, what up, Halder? You guys go subscribe to Halder. He's an excellent artist. Great guy. Very detail focused. This is also from the 99-cent store. I don't know if they still sell them, but they did like around the first part of the year, $1.25. These work really good too. Basically filling in some of this black right here. I don't want to do all of it though. I'm just going to chunk it in a little bit, you know. And then I'm going to get in there. I'm going to add some rendering. Some rendering. Everything with this one. Sometimes I don't like it when stuff is just all solid black. I like to see little micro tones and micro what's the word that we use every single day? Hatching and strokes and things like that, rather than just solid blacks. I don't know. I think it's kind of fun for the eye if I can nail it just right. Ooh, drawn sword. Thanks for stopping by. Yo, brother. I've been getting into nibs, and there's a very fine G nib too. That's great for 50 bits. Oh man, I need to hopefully get one of those. That sounds excellent. Yeah, nibs are cool. Yeah. I did a little day stream today in the morning. That was kind of fun. But ultimately, I've turned into a night owl. That's like my time. Seen the new Masters of the Universe trailer today. Yeah, that thing blew my mind. That was awesome. Looking forward to that. Yeah, I kind of wanted to draw some Robert E. Howard stuff today, but if there wasn't, this is kind of Howard-esque, because if there wasn't for Conan, there wouldn't be Primal. It's totally Howard. He's kind of like Conan of our generation. Spear. Yeah. So really looking forward to that movie. That's going to be a day one movie for me. A lot of people are losing their shit over the he/him tag in the movie. That was funny. Yeah, that was in case you didn't know, that was definitely a joke. Yeah. Most definitely a joke. They turned He-Man into a nerfed up soy boy that he's gonna escape from, and he's gonna chop down into the male power fantasy of the day, of the modern age, And there's a lot of Easter eggs in there too, like that one toy, another one of the toys that He-Man was based off of. It's in the trailer. He goes to that toy shop, or that kind of collector shop, trying to pull that sword out. I don't know. It just looks so fucking badass, especially when he's fighting the Skeletor at the end. That was so fucking sick, I know even the haters are like, that shit's fucking badass, and they're like, fuck. I gotta hate on this, I gotta hate. There's no way you could like be into like even sword and sorcery and see that trailer and not get a little giddy, For me, again, like I said earlier, the only thing I think the trailer was missing, at the end, dude, at the very, very end, everything goes black. Just a little that laugh, you know, echoing in the background. Then I think that we would have been good. That was my only gripe. But other than that, I think the trailer like went above and beyond of what it was supposed to do, and it totally like flipped the internet. You know, it's all anybody was talking about on Twitter for like 12 hours. Yeah, I see. It's going to be relevant. You know, people are going to be drawing He-Man. I'm gonna definitely be drawing He-Man this year. I don't care, man. I'm all about sword and sorcery. Like, I'm gonna be drawing He-Man, Conan, Crom, Spear. Like, I don't. I'm. That's my shit. You know. I love that. Love the barbarians. It's just the genre that I really dig. Shoot, even my character HELWÄR, he's a barbarian. Without spoiling too much. There's a character I made up too that's actually in his band. It's his drummer. Yeah, and he's got a comic, and it's basically very 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 He-Man inspired. But I never got to it, you know. But I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm ever going to get to this character's book, but I'm going to make him HELWÄR's drummer, and I'll put him in there. And his name's Tox, you know, TOX. His name's Toxic Mask. He's a pure form of toxic masculinity. But yeah, he was like inspired by He-Man, straight up. Rambo, John Matrix, and Saturday morning kind of cartoons. You know, he's a totally 90s character. Like HELWÄR is above and is really over the top, but Toxic Mask is even, you know, if I ever do a Toxic Mask comic, he's even way more over the top. Yeah, he's got a whole world he's in that he comes from, and man, I kind of really want to do that too as well sometimes. Yeah. It's just like a real over the top kind of cheesy machismo 90s character where you can just kind of have fun with, even more so than HELWÄR. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see here. Oh, thanks, Halder. Thanks for dropping my my sign up for my book. If you guys want to sign up for HELWÄR on Kickstarter, check it out. Again, I'm going to be launching that book on Friday the 13th. It's going to be on Michael Bancroft's show. And right now it's on Kickstarter. If you want to sign up for it. And if you guys sign up for my Substack, I'm going to send you a $5 off link. So for the first 24 hours, everyone that backs a book, if they sign up for my Substack, you're going to get a link for my free Substack. $5 off. It's basically like a coupon. And everybody's going to get a free sketch card, a free sketch card for me, everybody that backs in the first 24 hours. So it's all about the first 24 hours with that campaign, man. You're going to get just a random HELWÄR character. Like you got Hell Nora right here. I'm probably going to get in there and maybe write their name and stuff. So thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You're awesome. Still haven't seen the trailer. Okay, yeah, dude, you got to watch the trailer, bro. It's so good. Curious about the movie. Sorry, I stepped away a sec. No, that's cool. No, I'm going all in on the movie, man. You know, we're all excited. And if it's stupid and extra woke, I'm just going to walk out. I'm just going to be furious and walk right out of the movie theater. But I'm having weird faith that it's going to be good. I'm going to try to go see it day one. If not, it's going to be that weekend, or, you know, it's going to be opening weekend. When I say day one, it's like, if I can't do that day, it's definitely opening weekend. Yeah. I would wait in line for that movie. Totally, I would wait in line. It looks that good. Yeah. Everyone's flipping out, you know, about that, about Black Man at Arms, you know. Shoot, when Batman came out and they knew that Two-Face or Billy D. Williams was black, people wouldn't have said shit, you know. They wouldn't have said a fucking thing. Yeah, people just like to complain so much now. It's annoying. I mean, they would have said something, but they wouldn't have given a fuck. Start putting a little bit of that on there. Let me get in there with the Yeah, I'm so curious about that movie. There's so much too, you know. I think a big thing too, though, is people are kind of burned for what Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith really jammed him up. I didn't watch either of the Netflix shows. My favorite version of He-Man 2, I highly recommend, guys, is the one from Cartoon Network. That one's so good. I'm watching that one with my boy right now. There's 2 seasons, I think. We haven't finished it all, but we're going and we're watching it all. Yeah. Probably I'm thinking about maybe launching the HELWÄR on a couple different sites on the same day. But I figure, I don't know. I just figured I'd probably do it only on Kickstarter, just make it really easy. But I think some people like backing on other sites. So, and if I have people sign up for my Substack, they can just get that link and it could take them to anything. But it's for sure on Kickstarter. I'm gonna start doing more promos tomorrow for it. Little not promos, but just tweets and shit. I'm gonna start dropping more art. I did that little trailer drop last Friday. Tomorrow's the next Friday, so tomorrow I'll start talking about it and dropping the cover. I'll drop the cover tomorrow. I have to get into my computer and pull out the cover. I'm doing the letters right now. I think I talked about that earlier today. Did the letters. I checked them out. Don't like them. I went back. I deleted them. I did 106 pages of lettering and then I deleted it. Yeah. It's just they got cooler stuff now on Clip Studio Paint than I had on Photoshop, and there's just different things I want to do. But I guess it's all it, man. It's about willing to mess up, There's a little bit of He-Man in there too in HELWÄR, at least like the physiques and stuff. He's like super dope duper swole. Some crazy anatomy. But the thing is with He-Man, they all had the same anatomy. Everybody had the same exact anatomy. The dude in the movie, he's not super duper jacked, but he's believable. And it's an origin movie, so he could be a little smaller. But same thing with like Skeletor. He's not super jacked because he's Leto. But if you look at Leto in like Suicide Squad when he played Joker, he was ripped in there. He's pretty big. But I think I'm about 90% sure Leto, they put him in a muscle suit like Ron Perlman for Hellboy, but the dude's he's pretty ripped already. But I think they had to get that purple body, So I think he's wearing like 90% of the suit, and then the head is just like probably CGI. I can't wait to see the behind the scenes for that. Maybe he went like the Nicolas Cage route and just like wore white paint or something like that. We'll see about that. Yeah, we're gonna see about that. There's a lot of movies coming out this year. Yeah, I think that movie's gonna be the big movie of the year. As far as like money making, I think it's gonna be really big. I think He-Man's gonna make $1 billion. I'm calling it right now. Easily $1 billion. Especially if they get those markets like China and everywhere, it's gonna clear $1 billion. It's gonna be fucking huge. If they do everything right and that's not too much, they don't really have to do too much. It's real basic shit they got to do in the movie. They got to make him a badass. He has to be He-Man most of the time, or not most of the time, but become He-Man and not be the soy boy. Like change from that. And that's all you really got to do. And then you got the second one, and you got a trilogy right there. People will come back for that. Just watch the trailer. It looks good. Yeah. If you're 40 years old and up or like late 30s, that trailer is gonna give you a little like it'll make you feel good. It'll almost give you goosebumps. So it's gotta make us happy, all the nostalgic people, and then it's gotta want to get kids in there too. So now the other ones I'm looking forward to is Zelda, and I want to see what they're doing with Gargoyles. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're kind of doing with God of War as well. That sounds like it's gonna be fun. Highlander. I want to see what's up with that. That's brand new, like lore. They're basing that off of the first movie and the TV show. That's the weird thing about Highlander. I was watching a little mini documentary that like they had to keep retconning the lore because they didn't like it because like the second movie, The Quickening, I guess the lore was that they came from another planet and they're a race of immortal aliens. And a lot of fans were like, we don't like that, so they changed it. And like another movie, I think they didn't like that either. So I guess it was always best to leave the immortals origin like open to interpretation. And see, the thing is about like with Hollywood, they know everybody hates woke shit, and they know it's losing money. So it's just a matter of time before they say, we're just gonna make fun of that woke shit, and we're gonna make money now. I think we're gonna start making money now. So it's just a matter of time, and that little joke might have been, you know, the straw that broke the camel's back. And what better a movie than He-Man? It kind of makes sense, you know what I mean? It makes perfect sense. Like, yeah, let's because no one likes this shit. Let's go ahead and make that joke. Only 1% of the population really gives a fuck about the pronouns, or less. I'm excited for season 2 of Doradero. It's been delayed a few times, but should finally be releasing this spring. What channel is that on, man? Is that on like what network is that? Is it like Crunchyroll or something or? All right, so these are pretty good actually. Ooh, 7 likes. You guys are awesome. It's on Netflix. Oh, okay, cool. And no movie I want to watch. I haven't seen in like 20 years is Fist of the North Star, man. I know they're putting out that new one. Have you heard about that one? Halder, have you heard about that new Fist of the North Star coming out? That new manga or anime? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching some more Fist of the North Star. A lot of things came from Fist of the North Star, man. That was like a big influence on a lot of things, even Berserk. Yeah, that's my favorite. The favorite manga. It's Fist of the North Star. I like that one and Vampire Hunter D and also like Kira's cool. Ninja Scrolls is pretty cool. I think so. Hold on, I think so. I haven't seen the original yet though, but it's on my watch list. Yeah, bro, you gotta watch Fist of the North Star. Those cats that were doing the first manga, they were really inspired by like 80s action heroes, like Rambo and stuff. They really like Mad Max, that type of stuff. You really dig it. Those first manga from like the 80s and stuff, they're very very high tea, very badass. Especially Fist of the North Star. That one really sticks out. Let's see. Listen to Drawn Sword Graphics. Listen to the latest album of Megadeth. There's a new version of Ride the Lightning. What? Oh my gosh, I have to check that out. Yeah, that's my best friend / guitar player's favorite band. Like he could play like a lot of their songs. Yeah, I guess it's their last tour, if I'm not mistaken. He's kind of over it. Dave Mustaine. He's saying something like that. I'm gonna have to hear that. Gonna have to check that out. Thanks for sharing that, Drawn Sword. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. It's important. All right. Working on some teeth right here. This dino skull. My buddy just did a DVD cover of a really metal movie that's coming out. I can't spoil it. He showed me today. Yeah, he's doing the DVD cover and the movie soundtrack cover, and it looked fucking bad. Like, oh shit, that's fucking awesome, man. Oh, it's on the Megadeth YouTube. I'm gonna check that out. Then I should be I'm gonna start working on a Crom page next week. I'm gonna do the probably the second page in the book live, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do a page. I'm gonna show I'm gonna ink some of those Crom pages live so you guys could see method to my scribbles. Yep. Probably gonna have to go and pick out which ones I want to. I think I'm gonna premeditate that without making it too spoilery. But I will say that the first Crom entry that I'm doing, there's a lot of action in it. So I kind of want to do some shows where there's not action, where it's just straight up comic book storytelling and stuff. So, but yeah, I want to do probably about 3 or 4 pages live out of the 9 pages a year. Ooh, I've nearly finished penciling my Crom pages. Awesome, man. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. I need to start reading that anthology. Probably gonna start just taking chunks out of it every day. Read a story. Probably start doing that maybe tomorrow on my day off. Yeah. I finally finished my Crom pinup piece. So that one might get printed in one of the new anthologies. Yeah. That pinup's kind of what's going down in the story. That pinup might even be one of the pages, but I don't know. I might want to redraw it for fun. I've been reading Biomega. It's by Tutsumu Naihi, who did Blame. Amazing environments with a bit more story than Blame. Oh, okay. That sounds cool. Very nice. Right. I'm going to start working on some more stuff right here. Maybe a little bit of this mud. Looks dope, dude. Got to crash. Later, chat. Oh, later. Thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'll be seeing you soon. Everybody also go subscribe to Drawn Sword Graphics. Got some awesome work on there. And you could pick up his work too over at cromthebarbarian.com. He's got an art book on there with characters. A character art book called Scoundrel's Dread. I still got to pick that up, man. It's space bounty hunters in there. Artwork is just next level. Fucking metal is all get out. Go check it out. And I have a link in the description for cromthebarbarian.com. So, also today's Howard's birthday, Robert E. Howard. His house is in dire need of repair. It's a house museum. If you guys think about wanting to donate some money to that would be awesome. I have a link in there too for the Howard Foundation. Yeah, and Howard's the guy that, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be drawing this right now, Creator of Conan. There wouldn't be He-Man if it wasn't for Howard. Wouldn't be a lot of stuff. So Start adding some more line work to these guys and shadows. Right now, I kind of wanted to just get some of the background elements dialed in. Kind of want this kind of looking like mud a little bit. Kind of squishy. I was going to draw a volcano in here, but let's see here. See the Holocaust cover of Conan the Barbarian? No, I have not yet. I have to check that out. I've seen some of his Conan work before, though. It's really cool. There's like that one where he's in the cave entrance. That one looks badass. He could draw mean Conan. Hopefully they can get him for a Savage Sword. They need to get him for a Savage Sword. They need to get a lot of people, dude, just to get in there and do one for the modern era, you know? I think like there's a lot of people that just need to, pretty much every artist would be good. They should get Walt Simonson. I know he wrote a story for him. Walt Simonson would be good. Kyle Hotz. Liam Sharp's got one. He'll probably do another one. James Herron would be good. He did a cover. Dan Panosian needs to do one. Who else? Greg Capullo needs to do one. There's just like cats that like or OG too, like I'll even say like, yeah, was it Nick Klein? It wasn't, you know, who else is there? Jim Lee. If he wasn't so big, you know, would be pretty cool. Tom McFarlane would be cool, you know. It'd just be random, but it would be cool. They'll never do it, but I think Scotty Young would be kind of off the wall, you know. I think that would be pretty cool. Richard Friend, yeah, dude, he's a fucking beast. Yeah, he would be great on there. Pretty much all the artists that are out right now should be doing one. Eric Powell would be cool. But I don't know. I don't know if he would do one. I don't know if that would fit his politics. He's pretty outspoken. Same thing with Daniel Warren Johnson. He'd be good too, but I don't know. I don't know like what's up with them. The dude that did Headlopper, I'd like to see him do a Savage Sword. It would be really basic. Mike Mignola, that's another one. He would be cool. I think he could do a good scary Conan story, you know. I know I'm missing people. I think I said Nick Klein already. Yeah, right. Richard Friend, he was supposed to do that comic. Was it Blaster Kid? It was called like Blaster Kid or something like that. That thing looked pretty cool. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of Kickstarters coming out campaigns. Ooh, also, they're going to be launching the new Atlantean book by Russ Leach. Russ Leach on Savage Sword. That would be awesome, too. That would be sick. He would kill it on there. He's so fucking fast, too, and professional. He could get in there and easily do one. Yeah, he's a beast, bro. He's like next level. Put out so many Atlantean books last year. It's ridiculous. Also, who else is there? Who else should do Savage Sword? A lot of people. I'm always thinking, fuck it. Even Sean Gordon Murphy. I like his art too. He has some weird choices though sometimes. But man, that guy can draw pretty cool, especially cars. Ooh, Kenneth Rockefort, dude. Imagine him doing a Conan book. That'd be sick. He's got his Grokin. Grokin's badass. I still gotta have to pick that up as well. The third chapter. I haven't even read the second one, man. I still have that. I got so many books I gotta read. I have no real order either. They're just kind of just there. All right. Biz on Savage. Come on. Yeah, right? I don't think he's going to do it, though, man. For some reason, I don't know if he'll do it or not. He's like the number one, you know? I think they've been trying to get after him for a while, though. He did do a cover finally. Maybe he wants like a big chunk of money or something. Because he's gonna be doing some. What he needs to do is he needs to do like a Spawn book. He needs to do a Spawn book. That would be awesome. Just like Liam Sharp, because the thing is, Todd McFarlane's got money and he can afford him. You know, imagine him doing more like a biker Spawn. You know, that would be sick. That's what Liam Sharp did. And McFarlane doesn't, you know, as long as you give him a deadline, he'll have you work on the book. But yeah, Biz and Kyle Hotz, those are like my two, like, yeah, dude, get in there. You know, those are my two biggest, like my two favorites. Love their work. Looking at their work makes me want to draw. Imagine Frank Frazetta, man, on a Conan Savage Sword, bro. Right? Biker Spawn would suit him, right? Maybe I'll do that one night. Biker Spawn, yeah. Biker Spawn. I have to write that down. I'm gonna draw a biker spawn. I'm like, hey Todd, I made a biker spawn. You know, I'm not a big artist or nothing, but can I do a little solo series? He's like, yeah, you know what? I respect you. You got balls, kid. Yeah, sure. How long is it gonna take? I don't know, maybe like 6 years. I respect that. Okay. That's what I heard. He says he'll do any year, like for certain, you know, like elder statesmen artists, as long as they tell them like when the time period is gonna be in an interview. And he said, yeah, if you tell me 5 years, tell me 5 years, but have it done in fucking 5 years, like on the date, you know? I just need to know. Dan Lawless would do a mammoth Conan. Oh, Cryptic Catalyst. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, Biker Spawn. Yep. Lawless did a couple of Savage covers. Yeah, he also did Lawless did there was a Spider-Man fighting Wolverine in a graveyard, a card that I had from the 90s that Dan Lawless did. And I was looking at it, you know, I was like, damn, I used to love that card so much. That card, yeah. And he drew Wolverine really feral. It was painted. Yeah, Wolverine and Spider-Man, they look badass. And fighting in the graveyard, you know. Yeah. I used to love the pose too that Spider-Man was in. Just a real basic pose, but it was one of my favorite cards growing up as a kid. I had it when I was so young. I still have that card somewhere. I gotta. Yeah, did you guys see Richard Friend is like getting rid of a lot of his comics? He's like selling his collection. It's wild, man. I kind of understand though. Sometimes it's hard. Like you run out of space, you know. If you don't have the space, it sucks. We need to have more space, but we just can't, you know. And the freaking storage units, they cost a lot. Yeah. Ooh, 9 likes? What? 8 likes? Or 8 likes? Hell yeah. You guys are awesome. Thank you much. All right, let's see here. Yeah, hopefully I'll get that book funded, man. It's gonna be a real challenge, but I really want to make the book in the size format that I envisioned it. You know, it's going to cost more to print. Otherwise, HELWÄR that is. Otherwise, I would have formatted it more like a magazine style. But I really want to make it 12 by 12 almost. You know. Oh man. Let's see here. Yeah, I think he has a shed full he can't even get into. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. You know, and then at certain points you're just buying stuff too that's on a pull list. And you start trying to catch up, you're like, no. But there's definitely some comics I want to get rid of, and I have comics that are from like a certain period in like the aughts. They're not really worth anything, and people wouldn't even buy them, you know. But there was just like a time when I was collecting and I was creating, man, and I was getting back into comics. But some of the stuff is just not that good. Just I was kind of completing stories and stuff like that. Yeah. Some of it though is pretty good. I got some really cool Bisley Deathstroke from the New 52. He was doing a few of the covers in the beginning. They're pretty badass. He did like the first 3 covers, I think. Yeah, freaking awesome. Do a little smoke rendering right here. Another artist too that's huge that everyone loves, but they talk about, but then they don't talk about a lot. There's a lot of artists like that, you know. There's just so many. But Arthur Adams, love to see him do a Savage Sword of Conan. His art is just fucking phenomenal, man. I love all the little details he does. I think a lot of artists will agree with me that like you know you're making comics and like you want to draw like detail like a lot, but then you also have to try to get away with not having as much detail sometimes wherever you can. But we really want to draw details a lot of the time, but it doesn't really serve the story. There's speaking of Primal, I think on Cartoon Network, YouTube, there's an interview with Guinea Tertovsky, and it's showing him like go through episode 1, and he's doing all the sound effects as he's talking about it. Crazy Kevin, thanks for stopping by, man. Hell yeah. But man, Gindy can do some crazy like sound effects. He really gets into the animation. Like he does the like crackling for like fire and like magic, like just really got it down. You know, really gets into it. That's probably why he's so damn good at animating. Yeah. Definitely the sound effects of fire. Yeah. I saw that Primal. He's great with sound. I thought it was a cartoon at first. Yeah, right. Totally, dude. Yeah. I was just watching that and then I took a nap and, here I am. I started like kind of going against my golden rule of like, I like episodic stuff. I don't like binging stuff, So I'm glad they're not dropping that show like every episode, But then part of me is like, damn, I kind of want to binge that, Starting to turn into like a binge whore. But nope. I like having that weekly episodic feel, because once it's gone. So it's kind of fun to nurture it, like nurture those episodes. Have something to look forward to. Yeah, those first episodes, man, really kept me entertained and maybe even motivated towards the in the pandemic. Yeah, I remember working and coming home from work and watching them. I'd watch one episode a night. I think it was a pandemic, man. I remember just like slamming up a little tumbler of whiskey, watching them. Feels like it was a pandemic. I could be wrong, but it feels like it had to have been. I have to go back and check the time. So I think it was 2020, and everyone was working, and they were giving me gift cards. At work was. I was buying whiskey bottles. Yeah, good times. Not really. Hitting that like, hey Matt, what's up, brother? Thanks for stopping by, Rex. You guys go subscribe to Devil Flyer Momentum. He's got an awesome channel. Yeah. Does some good comic talk. Teach you a thing or two. Put you up on game on a lot of the comic lore, all the good shit from back in the day and whatnot. When the stories were king. I pre-ordered Lands Unknown, the Skinless Man. What is that, bro? I've never heard of it before. I ain't gonna lie, I never heard of it. What is that? Can you tell me more? There's so much cool stuff out there. I don't get it. I don't get to hear about all of it. There's no possible way I could catch everything. There's no way. There's just too much cool. It really is. I'm gonna keep some of this tone from that hair. Dude has some jet black hair though, but I still want to do it because why not? Let's see if I can. A little bit of that. There we go. Ooh, 9 likes. There we go. You guys are awesome. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Okay, look at that. I'm glad we got that Alex Horley Conan comic this year. That was fucking badass. Great story too. They literally had a story about the person that wrote the Numidian Chronicles as a villain. Such a good story. Creative too. Ben Stenback, writer, artist from the Magnolaverse through Dark Horse. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, that Magnolaverse is the shit, bro. Yeah. Hellboy's definitely my favorite comic. Love me some Hellboy. There's something about just those characters, man. Those blue collar characters, you know. I think that's another. We'll cycle back to the new He-Man movie. You know, he's somewhat corporate, but blue collar. He's a parole or not paroled. He's a human resources guy. You know. So not. I mean, they're blue collar. I'm sorry, they really are. I mean, they're a little office, but they don't make no kind of money, especially depending on what you know. What business they're actually working human resources for. They don't make that much. But yeah, you got him, you got Hellboy, you got Ash Williams working at S-Mart. I just love those characters, and if they could really nail that with He-Man, dude, think about it. It's like fucking Army of Darkness, bro. He's like, instead of going back in time, he's going to Eternia. He's washing off the soy, you know, and he's turning into the badass he's always meant to be. And he never has to turn into Prince Adam, really. He could just be He-Man, you know? And it's like the reverse version of Dolph Lundgren's version. It's instead of leaving Eternia for the whole movie, he leaves Earth and comes here. So that's cool. And then his mom was an astronaut. She's from Earth too. I was talking about this earlier, you know. So that might kind of explain why he has more power over there. Kind of the Barsoomian effect, you know, like John Carter. How John Carter, when he goes to Mars, he's super strong, he's super light, he can jump around, you know. Maybe that's how it is with He-Man, and maybe that's why He-Man may or may not be strong here, because he's half Earthling, half Eternian. So they could do a little bit of explaining about that. But I think that's cool, you know. And then it just makes it more relatable with like like 40-year-old plus people liking He-Man anymore, because he's definitely like them. He's like a blue collar dude that turns into He-Man, so it's kind of like another power fantasy, you know. And then kids could get aboard too, because it's just like, oh, he's a regular guy, you know. That's cool. So what they have right now could be a stroke of genius, you know, like a real form of genius, or it could be something very bad. We don't know yet, but I'm thinking, my gut, but I don't trust Hollywood, but my gut's kind of telling me they're doing something genius with this movie, and it's going to be fucking huge and awesome. Koshi, Hell artist on Skinless Man. Okay. Koshi and Hell, artist on Skinless Man. Okay. Yeah, and I never got Koshi and Hell. I have Koshi the Deathless though, the same character. He popped up, dude, in the very end of the movie. You remember the one that with David Harbour, directed by Neil Marshall? That was gonna be the second Hellboy movie, dude. That would have been dope. Forgot about that. Yeah, that movie got me a little like annoyed. The one with Neil Marshall and David Harbour, because they did all the they started off with the last Hellboy story and as a reboot, which I thought was stupid. But from seeing him at the very end, and Thomas Hayden Church is, you know, awesomely casted as Lobster Johnson, they were definitely going to go their own route. They were going to tell their own version of the Hellboy story rather than sticking straight to the comic beat for beat. And they were going to find Abe Sapien like later on, you know. So it's like they were just doing it in reverse. In retrospect, now that I look back, that might have been fun for even Mignola. Like maybe if they brought him on a little more, he could have made some newer things. Because ultimately, if you're not going to dial it in like 100%, it's like, maybe do some changes. It ain't going to hurt too bad, you know. I think Hellboy and Conan, I think they both would work great as TV shows on HBO. That I really feel that way. Hellboy should be on HBO. So should Conan. They both need like 10 seasons. That's just my honest opinion. And then try to do it as best as you can. Yeah, I think a lot of that looked really good. I like Neil Marshall. I like Dog Soldiers, and I was a big fan of that guy. I still am. Always have been. You know, ever since I seen The Descent. I seen The Descent before Dog Soldiers. Dog Soldiers is on another level for werewolf movies, you know. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. I don't know if it was this stream or the one earlier today, but damn, yeah, I got about 20 more minutes, guys, and I got to go to bed. What was it? The werewolf movies. There's a bunch of werewolf movies coming out this year. Looking forward to that. Whole lot of werewolf movies coming out this year. You got the werewolf. Then there's one. It's going to be werewolf versus basically a werewolf fighting zombies. I heard that one might be kind of fun. Yeah. Sometimes the only problem with taking naps is you can't go to bed later. You're just like up. Yeah. Up and at them. Yep. Yeah, it was crazy. Like, no, for me, like for the comic books I read, 2 straight weeks of nothing came out that I wanted to, that was on my pull list. Like, oh, looks like I'm not going. It's like no Conan stuff. And they were supposed to be doing a Cole comic, but neither of that came out either. So no Conan, no Savage Sword. It's like, all right. Okay. That's what we're doing, I guess. Let's see here. Unknown Lands. Must be a new series from Mignola and Co. Oh, okay. I know he was doing bowling with corpses. I missed out on that. I really just need a library for comics and sequential like storytelling, you know. I think, you know, comic nerds need a library, but that, you know, every man needs how am I going to say this? Every man needs a library, but comic book artists they need their like comic book library too, you know. And I'm not talking about just like the collector library. I mean like stuff you get in there and you actually read, you know. The whole collector thing, that's a whole nother topic, you know. That's like storage units and shit. Or if you're maybe a millionaire and you got a mansion or something. Draw more than I read, I guess. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like for us comic book, you know, artists and artists that are into like sequential art, we need those libraries that we can kind of just go in there and cup of coffee or thing of tea or beer or wine or brandy or bourbon or whatever you drink or a glass of water and just kind of go around, you know. Even taking a break from drawing, you'd go in there and just look at some stuff and get inspiration. I know I do. I would like just to have that access, you know, just to get in there and like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to look at some old school stuff right now. Look at some old Savage Sword of Conan, or I'm going to go look at some old Lobo or maybe some old Neil Adams, you know, maybe some old Kung Fu, you know. Maybe some old Spirit by Will Eisner. Maybe some old EC comics, you know. Maybe I want to go pull out Slain or, you know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. That's how we got here. That's how we started, right? We weren't reading comics. We weren't reading them when we first picked them up, most of us. We were looking at the fucking pictures because we're artists. And later we learned to appreciate the storytelling too. Some of us like that shit. Some of us don't, which is fucking fine. Doesn't matter. But yeah, for me, it's art first, then story. It's a visual medium. Like if a story sucks but the art's cool, and I got the money, I'll definitely keep buying it. But it's weird though. Like that's like a weird thing. You know, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, well, if the art's good and the story sucks, isn't and you still want to buy it, isn't the art telling the story? So therefore, the story doesn't suck because it's a visual medium. I don't know. I kind of looked at it like that. Or just maybe the visual story, the visual storytelling side of it is holding the book up more than the written word. I know for me, like with my scripts, I tend to overwrite and I take out dialogue for the comics. You know, I like to overwrite it. You know, even with the Crom book, I was doing that. I have to have like a kind of like a prose version, and then I have to take the prose version. That's what I'm doing actually, and then I take dialogue out, and then I might even add a couple beats in there because it's storytelling is different, you know, than in reading it. And then when it's written, I might take the drawing and theoretically in my mind smash it open and then like try to describe kind of what's going on with word. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Makes sense though. Kind of does. Because you have to describe things like it has to sound cool too. You have to make things sound cool when you're at least try to make it sound cool to you, you know, and hopefully someone else will think it sounds cool when you're writing. Do you edit a lot in the lettering stage? Yeah, bro. I'm actually, to be honest, I lettered all of HELWÄR, and I lettered all of it. Then I didn't like the letters, and I saw that I could go back and re-letter it pretty quick. So I'm going to go back and do that. So I'm re-lettering it now. I think I'm on page 20. I started over today from page 1, I think, or maybe yesterday it was. And then so I'm going back doing that, and then I'm actually adding a couple things here and there because there's stuff in Clip Studio. There's some inking shit in there and some airbrushing shit that I'm like, damn, I kind of want to add this to my comic a little bit in little spots. It doesn't. I didn't think I wanted to, but once I put it down on the paper, some of it looks cool. But to be honest, Drawn Sword, I really want to give it that look where it looks like I want people to see like the work scanned in. I want people to say, oh, this is a fucking page scanned in. He's doing that. Like I want it to look like that, like dirty. You know, I want it to look like it's something you'd find in the back of a metal store, but at the same time, something just different, you know, very off the wall, kind of one-offish in some ways. And it will be if it's printed, you know. Like I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm talking about. I got. Like you open it up and you know, you can see the page right there, you know, like from the barbarian, you know, I like that. I like seeing the page of the art scanned in there. A lot of people don't do that. I think it looks cool. It's like, I want to fucking do that. I like that. I like how it's just dirty. Most people see that and they're like, ah, sacrilege, you know. I fucking love that. I like seeing all the dirt and the tooth on the page. You can't do that. It's a big no-no. It's got to be fucking bleached out in Photoshop or whatnot. Don't ever do that. I like to do that with my art too. When I scan it in, I like to keep it at grayscale rather than black and white. See, I like that right there. I like seeing that where the end of the page was. I like that. What else did he do it? Right there. I like that. Looks cool. So you could see where he scanned it in. I don't know. I kind of want to go with that aesthetic for like most of the book. So let's see here. So yeah, I do edit while I'm rendering. So I'm doing that, or I do. Let's see. Yes, I do edit a lot in the lettering phase. So I'm going back, and I didn't want HELWÄR to have his own style of word balloon. And then eventually I went back and was like, no, I am going to do that. So he has his own style. I went back and I'm redoing that. And then I'm changing the style of word balloon. I wanted to do that. And then I'm doing a little bit of editing. I might tweak some of the stuff. I'm going to do like a prototype version of the book. I'm going to print it out. That's going to be like $80. And then I'm going to have that in hand. I'll have that for the Kickstarter so people can see I'm not playing around. I should have that hopefully mid campaign, probably 30 days in. I'll have that in hand so people can see it. And I'll say it's a prototype. It's not there, but it's almost done. And then I can go in and tweak some of the things that I want to tweak, you know. But I really want to see the pages scanned in. Like I want that to be part of the aesthetic of the book. Can I go in and white them out? Fuck yeah, but I don't want to. I think it looks fun. Like it looks dirty and street and gritty and fucking metal and old school and kind of punky too in some ways. Do I want to do that in every book? Fuck no. But just for sure this one. Some books I'm gonna do it like other ways. You know, every book has its own monster. So yeah, I am definitely lettering. I'm gonna be tweaking the letters for a long time because it's the artwork. You know, Tank Fair, what's up, man? Tank, to all you magnificent bastards and bastettes. I was going to get caught up on Primal on my next work break. Definitely, dude. You have to. Have to. Thanks, Halder, for dropping those links, man. You are awesome. I owe you one. BATT MURK, I still think that's fun. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious, man. I wish I had thought of it. I never thought my guitar player thought of it 20-something years ago. Let's see. Yeah, I love the rugged look to the black and white. It rules. Yeah, it's like you either like it and get it or you don't, you know? Like you're either like down with that, you kind of want that aesthetic or not. Some people look at it and say, that motherfucker lazy. He didn't even fucking, it's like, no, it's not that I'm not lazy. I want to go with that look, you know? I want that dirty, you know, same thing with Bruegel. He was fighting hard to get dark, like getting those pages dark, you know, he over and over again, you know what I mean? Like, but that's what I want. But then there's some pages too, where I might airbrush some of the borders in, because I think the airbrushing looks cool, you know, like to me, it's like it's art, you know. I want it to be kind of like that fucking, that book from like Never Ending Story, you know, but it's like a metal, it's like a metal book, you know, where it's alive and shit. Even like a Necronomicon, I don't know. Alive, and my brain thinks differently, I guess. But I know you know what I'm talking about, Drawn Sword. I know you and fucking Bruegel know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Fucking toothy, gritty, street, fucking indie, underground looking black and white art. Let's see here. Like a thanks, Tank. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Primal's, oh man, so good. I gotta finish watching though those sound effects that the indie was doing. So badass. So funny. Okay, I got 5 minutes. Damn, I don't want to go to bed. Oh, I gotta go to bed though. I actually gotta force myself to go to bed now. Heavy metal vibes your jam, dude. That's what I'm doing right now, man. I'm gonna do that for this book. Doesn't mean I'm gonna do it for every book. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna do it for every book either. I'm just gonna, you know, play with it, you know. But I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping I could hit the funding, you know, because I was looking at it, and it's more expensive to make the book that big with like a perfect bound, because 106 pages, you can't make it like saddle stitch. I was trying to go that route. I was trying to make the fucking book as cheap as possible, but that's the only way to do it for me right now, to make it that big and fold out. Otherwise it'll rip and bow and do all kinds of weird things. So, but it's going to be basically just the same price as all the old school like funded books. You know, I think they were all $25 plus 35, or sorry, 25 plus 10. So everything was $35 with shipping for Americans. You know, but this book's going to be it's going to be $20 plus $5 shipping. I mean, don't quote me 100%, but that's what I'm aiming for. And then for the first 24 hours, I'm taking $5 off that, you know. So instead, you know, and then it's going to be 106. It's going to be 106 pages of actual story. And then I'm going to probably put like 10 more pages in there of concept art. And who knows, maybe I'll have an artist gallery. Maybe if anybody does any like fan art, I'll put that in there too. I might have to put like a couple pieces per page though, depending on what it's. Because there was some people that were saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna draw your character, dude. I want to do some fan art," and I know how that is. I do fan art for people. So if there's any of that, I'm gonna definitely throw that in there. I already have behind the scenes stuff. I think you should always have that type of stuff in there. And then again, yeah, everyone that backs, I'm going to be giving them a free sketch card too. Everyone that backs in the first 24 hours. So it's all about that first 24-hour thing, you know. Hey, what do you guys think? You guys think I should just go on Kickstarter only, or you think I should go to other sites? The 6 of you guys watching. Let's see here. So there's that question, and then also drawn sword. I don't know what you mean as far as how does it open? Has a good eye. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm sorry. I'm a little confused with that. Maybe you can clarify a little bit. Forgive me. Sometimes I'm talking and I miss the timing in the chat. With the binding of 100-page. Oh, you know what? I'm not sure yet. I have to wait till I print it out. And I haven't seen any examples yet. So it's going to be something new, you know. That's another thing, man. That was the whole reason I made the book, was to give it that concept, you know. It's supposed to be a metal album when you open it. There's not a lot of people that print like that. Yeah, it's going to open flat. It's going to be perfect bound. Yeah, that's the only way they offer it. And I've tried like local printers too. It's just no dice, you know. And then a lot of printers, they won't even print like that. They won't even print those dimensions. The dimensions are actually going to be 11.9 by 11.9. So it's almost 12. It's almost the size. And then if I do have a stretch goal, I'm going to get it. The stretch goal is going to be an actual record sleeve. So it will come in a record sleeve. That's the stretch goal. That's going to be like, I don't know how much that's going to be, but I'm not going to, I'll put that on there, but I just want to get this one funded. And then I think the next book I put out, the next ones, I don't know how I'm going to do those. Because if I sell out of these, then I want to make more, and I don't know. I might even reformat it or something. I don't want to, but we'll see. Some people do that, like they're reformatting their some of the DC books. I think like Watchmen, and they're turning them into manga size. I'm not going to do manga size. I'm just going to do magazine size. So it'll go from record to like A4, like the British style. Yeah, you're right. Maybe just try Kickstarter first. You can add other platforms after. I was thinking about that too. I was so sure about what I wanted to do like 3 years ago, but now that things have changed, it's a little different. I wanted to launch everything. I wanted to do three sites at once, you know. But things are changing now, so it's a little different. So I'm still trying to figure that out. I still might though. I might launch it on 3 sites. I hear Indiegogo is kind of a mess right now, and I'm wondering if I should even just skip that. So I'm not really decided not to go on Indiegogo. I like Fund My Comic too. They're pretty cool. Those guys are really good to me. They let you do whatever you want for the most part. Not whatever you want, but let's see here. Okay. Yeah. But I'm just glad that like the book is like 90% done and I don't have to finish too much. It feels good like going into the campaign, like having it mostly done. That shit could be very stressful. Now I just got to do the lettering. I'll be done with the lettering. Theoretically should be done with the lettering for editor by Sunday. Because the book's 106 pages, but I don't have 106 pages of lettering. I don't. It's not a wordy book. You probably could go through it in like 30 minutes. It's supposed to be just wham bam entertainment. That's the way I always conceived it too. I didn't want it to be wordy. Not too much. And I don't really think I'm going to be adding any more dialogue to things. I might add a little bit here and there. But again, I've already lettered it once, and I didn't add anything to it. But sometimes when you read things, you might come up with a little something. You might want to add a little something later because it's just, oh, that's a good idea. But you never want to overwork your stuff, I don't think. It's like rendering, you don't want to over render it. Oh shit. 12 likes. Thanks, guys. So cool. No, over rendering, you can never over render enough with comic art. Have you looked into Global Comics? You could probably do a digital preview there. Yeah, I would do that. And another thing, I got to go back and keep building my campaign page because it's done on it's done. But then, when you're building it, it really depends on like what year it is and what's hot and what's trending, like what people want, like people want I'm going to make a digital tier. So I think that's going to help out a lot because people like in New Zealand, they're not going to have money to, far away. The shipping is ridiculous. So, so there's that. And then, this will be my first ever digital comic. Yeah. So I'll have that. And then, got to put sketch card tiers up on there because the first people I said, they're back or they're going to get their sketch cards, but someone else might want some. Yeah. And if I was like really like big and established, trust me, bro, I would have 2 patches on there. I'd have a tour shirt. I'd have a band shirt. I'd have band posters. I'd have guitar picks. I'd have lanyards. I'd have a guitar on the page. I'd have everything, I've had bumper stickers. I would have thought about all that already. But yeah, no, I can't. Oh, and the cover would be made out of metal. The cover would be solid metal. It'd be a solid metal, like album record, but a metal cover. Like ding, 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 ding. Lulu print on demand. Yeah, they're good too. I don't know if they could do my dimensions though. That's the only problem. But I might go there for like the second run. And that's what's going to make the first run, the first print. It's going to make it special, So at least like, for sure, like they're going to have the record printout version. And that's the way I designed the book was for that format, But yeah, I'd have to find a, like the perfect, secondary format size. It's like 11 by 17 where it actually looks good when I size it, that's a little bit of a challenge, but I might do that. It just depends on what I have available and all that good stuff. What printers are available. A lot of what ifs. It's all gravy though. It's like when you're done with the book, you kind of at the end of the day, you just want to get your work out there, and you want people to fucking you want people to read it, you know. I don't even like, yeah, fuck it. Like even when it's out there, eventually, like I wouldn't even give a fuck if people pirate it, you know. I just want them to read it, you know. Not right now, but because I need to make the book. Just like with like music, if people pirate my music, I ain't gonna be mad. At least like they care, you know. Yeah, Lulu prints. Yeah, they ship anywhere. So does Mixum, I think too, because Mixum has print everywhere as well. That was always the main thing too. Like years ago, was hey guys, should we just make black and white comics because um the quality control like is pretty attainable at that juncture, you know? Because if you print with one printer and they print everything in color, the one color version is going to look different from over there. But usually, if it's black and white on demand, it's going to look fucking the same everywhere. But that was always the problem of wanting to print on demand for us. Was a lot of us in the scene at that time was we were worried about what the color profile, what the color was going to look like, the product, you know, if it was going to look the same everywhere. As to where, say, if you print somewhere you haven't shipped to your house, and you could say, oh, okay, all of these have the same print style, you know, of the color. All the color looks the same, you know. All the reds look the same compared to where, you know, you have something else. But if it's in black and white, you could do print on demand anywhere. Then you don't have people really. And then you'll know too if it's a first print. Some people collect the stuff. They like to know if it's a first print. Because when you do print on demand, there's no real like print number, you know. Some people are real big on that. I don't really give a fuck, you know. I don't care. Especially for indie stuff. Like a lot of people in indie don't give a fuck about that. But that was always like a major thing. Boop, 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 boop. Wow, let's see. I think Global Comics got a print on demand deal with the printer. Global Comics was going to do that, but backed out of the deal. Oh, really? Yeah, that's a big commitment, you know. And the thing I like about that print on demand is they handle everything over at Lulu. I don't have to store everything in my garage, you know, or at a storage unit. People just order it, and boom, 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 baby, you know. But there's also the thing where like you could shut it down. You could kind of think about it like if people were printing it on demand for like a certain amount of years, you could say, well, that was the print run of fucking 2026. I shut that down. I'm not printing any more of these, even if they're all printed as separate. That's 2026 year prints. Those are the first print runs. Even if every single one was print on demand, that's 2026. Then you go in and then you change the cover, and then people you can argue that with people as far as like collector ability. If you change the cover on every single one every year or every few years, then people are going to get collectible items. That would be my argument against you know, it being a new product every time it's printed, rather than you having it all printed on a run or a batch and storing them at your facility or whatnot. That's how you do it, though. That's the workaround for that. It's important. These are important conversations that need to be had. And at the end of the day, those are just for the fucking like collectors, you know. In my opinion, like me, I think print on demand is fucking brilliant, especially for black and white, dude. It's perfect. So that's why I'm going with Mix'em. I've printed with them before. They do a good job, and I remember they sent me some messed up books, and I sent them a letter, and then I filmed the books and showed them. They gave me they reprinted my books, man. They reprinted my books. A lot of people don't take advantage of that, you know. Like if they send you a bunch of messed up books, I had them on the phone. I filmed the whole video. I had them laid out on my bed. I put on my white gloves, you know. And they're like, okay. I'm like, you see the corners, you see this, like it's all scratched up. I'm like, people bought these. Am I supposed to sell these? You know, especially if it's like for like a crowd fund. It's not like it's at a store where they can just kind of pick out the ones they want, you know. So I'm like, you see, there's scratches on these covers and dents and things like that. Okay, so, but that's something to look forward to. Definitely going to look into the Lulu probably for the second go around. And if I do the Lulu one, I'm going to have a new cover for that too. So every time I do every time my book sells out, that's the thing. I also wanted to do a new cover. So this will have a cover, and then, you know, once I sell out of these, no matter what I do, I'll do a new cover. Once those sell out, or however I want to do that. If I'm doing print on demand, I might do like a few year lock-in cover. That will be the second print, and then I'll shut that down. And then after those are done with that, then I'll make a new cover, or I'll hire someone to do a cover. Yeah. But thanks for the input, guys. Really appreciate it. I like hearing. I like talking shop like that. Okay, yeah, I gotta go to bed. Let's see here. All right. I'm gonna try hard to do a stream or two tomorrow as well. Trying to get on here as much as I can. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna get going right now. I think I gotta try to go to sleep for a few hours, and then gotta go to work. It's gonna be a challenge. Let's see here. I got a few print on demand comics from Amazon. The black and white quality is great, but color books are still a bit blurry. Amazon replaces any of their print on demand books with issues at least. Yeah, that's good. You know, that's what I'm saying. Black and white's the key. That's the hack. You know, color is good too though, but it's just as good. But I mean, I think for people that really want to make stories and get their books out there, like me, I think that's the way for me. I love color just as much, but for me to get the right print and to control the quality and stuff like that, you know, have like kind of a collector's item too. There's ways that you could do that. Yeah, I like these conversations though. I also like leather bound books. I wanted to do a leather bound cover book, and the only one I know that does that is in China. That's Print Ninja. I wanted to do a couple leather bound comics. Those are expensive, you know. There's places you could find, but that's like the big one. There's local printers, and some dude's printing a book in Italy. He's got a leather bound book. He's getting it done in Italy. He's got some Italian connection. Like, damn. Yeah. So cool. So many things you could do, you know. They all cost money though. People want things, you know. They want collectability, you know, all that stuff. It's hard. At the end of the day, the best is if you could just print the book without any crowdfund, you know, just have it ready to sell. That's like, oh, ultimate goal. Right? Binding them yourself, the leather ones, that would be pretty dope. I see people doing that all the time, just making books and stuff. Oh yeah. Well, thanks everybody for stopping by. I'm gonna hit the hay. I really appreciate you guys coming through. It's important. It's awesome. I hope you guys have an awesome Friday. Happy Friday. I'm gonna try to get in here. I might do a couple streams tomorrow too. You guys might be seeing a little bit more of me. So because of the promotion of HELWÄR. So you know that's like it's a whole thing, man. You got to do your pre-campaign. You got to do your campaign, and then you know whatever else you're gonna be doing. You know. So yeah, pencil bumps. Thanks, Drawn Sword. Yeah, it's just you gotta do it. You know, it is for every book. It's like a 9 month process. It can be. It could be like 6 or 9 months. It could not a 9 month process. I'm tripping. It's a kind of like a 4 month process, I guess. Just for the pre-promotion and the promotion, if you're going to do one campaign, you know, because you want people to sign up, and then you're going to do 60 days. That's 2 months. So it's about a 3.5 to 4 month process, I think, to do it properly, personally, you know, and things have changed a lot now, and I'm just trying to navigate that. So thanks again, guys. You guys are awesome. God bless you. And I hope you guys have a great day. Always remember to be bold, be brave, roll the bones to know your role. And remember, if the artist isn't starving, then the artist isn't hungry. I'll see you guys later. Keep it good and take care. Keep it metal.